Remember in a previous episode, I mentioned that you should play the hand that you're dealt? Well, that's extremely important. And now I'm going to tell you when you should not play the hand that you're dealt. I'm Ricky Kallabat. Welcome to my Live a Legacy channel. My intentions are to provide you with valuable information that will alter the trajectory of your life by creating new opportunities for your family and your future. What is Straight Talk with Ricky? It's the real deal, unedited, unfiltered truth about life and all the lessons that come with it. Subscribe now. All right, so let's jump right in. So in the previous episode, I said, play the hand you're dealt. What I meant by that is, what are we born with, right? How are we built? What is our DNA? If we are short, if we are tall, if we are skinny, if we have big bones, there's lots of different things, right? Things that are beyond our control. They're just beyond our control. We're born with it, right? Our hair type, the way the color of our eyes, whatever it is, play that hand that you're dealt with your natural given talents. That is still true. However, as we move through life, we make conscious choices. We make decisions. And we get ourselves into predicaments or situations and experiences and all these other wonderful things. So we start to accumulate things, and then we start to, when we pick up the cards, right? So now it's not just the hand that we're dealt, we are consciously choosing the cards that we have in our hand, which is the relationships we have, the people in our lives. Maybe it's a significant other, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's your family. Well, your family you don't choose, right? They're already there. So other things, your career, your work, what you're doing, right? You're picking this out for your own self, for your life, right? Your lifestyle. So as you're choosing these, eventually you get to a point where it's like you don't know because you start putting it all together. It's kind of like drawing a piece of art. You start putting pieces in the puzzle together, or you start drawing, and then when you start to get a vision of what that looks like, maybe it's possible that it didn't turn out exactly the way you had envisioned it in your head. So here's where we have to decide. Most of the time, we're going to be like, okay, well, if I can just add a little red, add a little blue, or you start to tweak it, you start to modify it, you start to justify that because you've already done all this work, I don't want to throw away what I started, so I'm going to do all this work, I'm going to try to make it a little bit better, and then you start adding some more stuff, and you start doing all of these things, and then before you know it, you have got to a point where it's not even what you were envisioning. It's not what you thought it was going to be. It's horrible. And now you feel like you've invested more time by getting there that it makes it even harder to now want to say, oh, shoot, I need to get rid of this. I need to start all over. Okay. So that's why it's important, if we back up to this place, when you start to see the wheels come off, okay? As soon as you're in a situation, you start to see the wheels come off, right? Those red flags that were there that you just kept on going through because it was no big deal, because it was a red flag, but you're like, okay, I see that red flag, but it's no big deal. We're going to keep marching on. And then they start to grow, right? So when you get to that point where you start to see the first one or two, and I say one. As soon as you see that first red flag, you need to say, uh-oh, okay, what's going on here? Because the red flag is there for a reason, okay? You need to not ignore it. You don't just bypass it and don't just say, well, that's only one. That's no big deal. I'm just going to keep on going forward. You need to stop. You need to look at that red flag and you need to ask yourself, why did this happen? Where did this red flag come from? Again, if we're talking about relationships here, then it could be your partner has bad bedside manners, right? Maybe they are not as courteous as you'd like. Maybe they're not as kind as you like. Maybe you witness them and their behavior, being rude to, someone in a restaurant or a wait person or something like that causes you to go, uh-oh, that's a red flag. And it's very easy for us to just dismiss it and to just say, okay, well, there's all this other stuff that's so good and everything else is good and I want to make it work. I really, really want this to work. So your desire to want to make something work is not going to magically make it better. Okay? I really want you to understand that. Just because as bad as you want it is not going to make it right. Okay? It's going to happen anyway. So instead of putting your blinders on and pretending that you didn't see that red flag, stop, address it, interrogate it, and be like, why did this happen? Is this something that is a trend? Is this the tip of the iceberg? Is this something that's going to happen again? How often is it going to happen? Are there other things that maybe happen? Maybe there were some other red flags that were there that I didn't even pay attention to because whatever reason, right? I was so enamored, so in love, so whatever it is. So you just dismiss those red flags and you keep going down that path. So I'm here to tell you it's much, 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 much easier to, when you get to that intersection or you get to that roadblock, to look at it and understand, why is it there? Where did it stem from? And see if this is a sign, if this is a message, if somebody's telling you that we're going down the wrong road. We need to stop right now and cut our losses short, right? That's what we say in the investment world. I was a stockbroker for a few years. Even in real estate, I work with a lot of investors. It's okay to make a mistake. It's just not okay to keep making that mistake and keep deciding to continue to make the mistake bigger, bigger, deeper, deeper. As you start digging deeper and deeper. So what I'm saying is, play the hand you're dealt until you start to see that this hand is not a winning hand. You pick these cards, you're looking at these cards and you're like, I only have 2 pair. I don't like my chances. I don't like these. You have to be able to look at yourself and say, are you a 2 pair kind of a person? 2 pair is mediocre at best. You want to live a mediocre life? I don't think so. I really don't think so. You certainly wouldn't be watching this episode if you wanted a mediocre life. You wouldn't be a learning-based person if you wanted a mediocre life. So, you don't want that. And even if you do want, stop it, because you deserve more. So you need to have the courage, you need to have the fortitude to be able to look at that 2 pair, and you got to be able to say, you know what? Fold. I don't want these anymore. I will take my chances and I will want new cards. I want new cards. And here's the good news. As soon as you get the new cards, you're quickly, once you fold, it's over. Now you get a fresh start. You get a fresh start at a new relationship, a new job, a new career, a new city, whatever it is. And then when you get the new cards, you can quickly say, wow, are these cards better or worse than the last ones? And if they're already worse, you don't even have to go down the road that far. You haven't invested much. Once you just get started, it's easy to just fold, right? Oh my God, a 3 and a 2, fold. Whatever it is, you can quickly, easily, it's better to just fold and know that you have more cards coming. The dealer is always dealing in life. I promise you, every day, the dealer of life is always dealing you cards. If your hand is full, you can't take new cards. So that's why you got these 2 pair, and you can't take new cards because your hand is full, and you're trying to make these 2 pair work when you just need to dump them. Fold. New cards, please. Because you are better than 2 pair. The worst case scenario, right? The worst case scenario. You have to be comfortable knowing that, you know what, I could probably get another 2 pair without trying too hard, because 2 pairs sucks. So you can always have 2 pair. You need to keep folding until you get at least 3 of a kind. 3 of a kind is a decent life. That's a decent life. Okay? But 2 pair is for the birds. Nobody wants 2 pair. Fold, brand new cards. 3 of a kind, then you can play those 3 of a kind. Then you're 1 card away from 4 of a kind. You're 2 cards away from a full house, or a straight, or a flush, or a royal flush. Then it's endless. Once you have 3 of a kind, you've got the foundation to be able to grow and learn and make awesome things happen. Okay, so that should be your goal. Your foundation is 3 of a kind, you know, and you should not settle for anything less. Definitely not 2 pair. Okay? Alrighty. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, subscribe, and click on the bell. Like and share with 3 people you think will also benefit from this game-changing message. Connect with me. All my social media links are below in the description. We welcome and reply to all comments. So please share your comments below, and please let us know what topic interests you the most.